I think it's time to speak about the Manosphere.
I always park in disabled bays. I'm not a bad person, but I'm a quick person. Most people are slow and stupid. I'm fast.
The Manosphere is a topic I've been putting off doing for a while, and it's taken me a minute to kind of think about my points. I won't be speaking about the whole of the Manosphere. I'll mainly be referencing the documentary in this video and sort of going over just some different things. I'll mainly be talking about a few figures within the Manosphere and the Louis Theroux documentary. I won't be discussing the Manosphere in complete depth, but there's always room for a part 2, so let me know in the comments. Right, so what is the Manosphere? Well, I googled the definition. And what it says online, it's websites and blogs where men express opinions about issues concerning contemporary masculinity and male relationships with women, especially those associated with views that are hostile to feminism and women's rights. My definition of the Manosphere is a bunch of muscly men, some of which who grew up privileged and some of which who made money in very questionable ways, all sort of coming together on one platform, bashing women and telling you that you need to live their life and you need to be successful, making you feel like shit for not having as much money as them, while also making you hate women. I feel like I said a whole lot of nothing there, but I also feel like what I said was right. I don't know, but the Manosphere is an incredibly toxic place, and for young people to be watching this and getting inspired by it, I think it's something very concerning. I think as a 23-year-old man, I have a duty to educate younger men, and also even men of my age, that a lot of what is said is not okay. There are many societal issues that face women today. One issue that I have constantly spoke about of recent times that doesn't ever really get brought up is there is no research done into women's health whatsoever compared to men. Women have all types of health problems, and it really angers me that we are not looking into this.
What you have there is not clips. These are mags.
So I think it's good to also discuss, is there anything good within the Manosphere? Is anything promoted that is actually good for young men? The answer is yes. No one that criticizes the Manosphere is actually against the idea of masculinity and is against the idea of just being a man and doing man things. No one's actually against any of that. What they're against is the views towards women. It'd be very easy for me to grill the Manosphere, don't get me wrong, but unfortunately it's not that simple. On the surface, when you look in, it is positive. It teaches men to go to the gym. It teaches men to maintain a healthy lifestyle. It teaches them to looks max, which is a completely different thing that also goes too far. That's a separate video. Oh, I'm fucking coming for you. It teaches you about self-improvement. It teaches you staying disciplined and working towards your goals. These are all things that are very positive that young men do need to do and do need to be taught. Young men and their masculinity do need to be empowered. I think we all would agree with that to some sort of sense. However, this is where we start to go down a very, very bad rabbit hole. These influencers are teaching men misogyny.
If the woman is the prize, what would that make the man?
A piece of worthless wallet. They don't care. I don't know, just give me your money.
The wallet.
Homophobia.
KFC fried chicken. Fucking McDonald's. Oh, you can have a fillet of fish burger. Bullshit for homos.
And in all honesty, there's actually quite a bit of racism that gets pushed in these spaces.
Brown people jester maxing. I don't want to see Browns jester maxing.
So essentially, what I'm saying is the Manosphere is almost like a Pandora's box for young men. Now, the influencers in this space look like this. As you can see, most of these guys, they've got muscles, they got money, they got women. Yeah, alpha male, gym bros. Yeah, fucking testosterone. Yeah. Now this is what the average fan honestly looks like. Now we can all sit here and laugh, but actually, back on a serious note, these fans that they are reaching out to are very vulnerable, very easily impressionable, and without a strong male role model that could actually teach them what's right and what's wrong, these are the people that are teaching them these things, and that's something that's very, very scary. I always say for myself, I have my brother to thank. My brother and I have a 15-year age gap. There's a lot that he had been through and a lot that he had experienced that he can also help me with that my dad necessarily couldn't help me with. He taught me tolerance, he taught me respect, and he taught me how what these people are saying is so unbelievably fucked up. But to those fans of the Manosphere, come close. Come close. Seriously, come close, because you're gonna need to hear this. These people think you're fucking stupid. This whole Manosphere all started from a man who made Hustlers University, which is the most blatant pyramid scheme I've ever seen. And we're gonna go into more depth as to why none of these people actually care about you. A lot of them have actively scammed their fans. They do not give a fuck about you or me or anyone other than themselves. And I'd go as far to say they know full well what they're saying is completely wrong. They push this type of content onto these people because they know that you are vulnerable. They know that you're impressionable, and they think that you are the easiest demographic of people to manipulate. Politicians.
What is
Great
it?
supine protoplasmic invertebrate jellies.
Make a career out of it. Fuck! There was a whole reality show dedicated to taking the piss out of people that they thought were the most vulnerable and easy to take advantage of in society.
Sorry, I think I'm scared him off the stage. This is about her. Leave the stage now. I think you can't make me do anything.
That's what they think about you. They don't have an ounce of respect for you. Now, if you think what I'm saying is incorrect and you think I'm wrong, well, let's just talk about one of the biggest influences within this space. HS.
Anna, do you not feel a bit noncy coming on a kids app then at 40?
I'm not 40.
Alright, sorry, 45.
No, I don't want a juice bar, mummy. I don't want a juice bar. Mummy, I don't want a juice bar. I don't want a juice bar. HS, his claim to fame was essentially going around with his coked up midget little friend, and he would go to women and ask if they want to hold his penis. That's how it all started. Brilliant content to start off with. Amazing. It sort of progressed and progressed. He started to go live. He started to do all sorts of things. Had a couple of boxing fights. I'm not gonna lie. HS can throw hands. And his coked up little friend, can he fight? Well, he's been dropped more than once, but he did kick the shit out of an old man one time. Actually, that kind of reminds me of a very successful influencer boxer. The first thing I want to get into about HS is his blatant scamming of fans. And we'll get into why he moved to Dubai and why he stayed in Dubai. We'll get there. But firstly, let's talk about how he was scamming his fans, talking about this lavish lifestyle that he lives. Firstly, I don't think he's got as much money as he claims, but we move. He's made money off of scamming fans, and you know, people came to defend him, saying, just like they defend every one of these sort of Forex bros that sell a course that's a complete rip-off and you're not going to make money off of it, and they don't actually make money off of Forex, they make money off of twats like the people that buy these courses. And he would always say, join my group chat, And people came to defend him, just like everyone else did, saying, oh, you're just not picking up on the drops on time, or this or that, you know, all the fucking excuses they have in the book. But it was a scam. Just like Hustlers University, or the real world as what it's called now, it is a scam. And this is a common theme you're going to find with a lot of these people within the Manosphere. They scam their fans. Not just brainwashing them, they scam them out of their money as well. And if you don't think that this was a scam, if you still want to defend HS, he actually fucking admitted that it was all a scam. And if we want to continue into how he actually treats his fans, we all need to remember General G started off as a fan. That's what he was. Now, if we take a look into the General, we can see he's not the most confident of men. He's definitely not the type of man that really... He doesn't strike me as the man that sort of pulls up in the nice car and takes the girl home. Fucking hell, none of them are chivalrous. Jesus Christ, he doesn't look up... The people he fucking looks up to aren't chivalrous, but General G has his own problems. And he is the embodiment of your typical Manosphere fan. And a lot of these people may have a lot wrong with them. And General G does quite clearly have quite severe autism.
All right. Oh.
And these people were exploiting this. There are clips out there of General G that are shocking. There are clips there where he... I think the girl at the time was called Alexis, and he's saying about how you need to sleep with me and you must do this and you must do that. But who the fuck do you think taught him to speak this way? Where do you think he fucking got that from? Where do you think he got that from? And I think it does go to show that actually all these men, all these influencers that are trying to teach young men, they aren't teaching the lesson that men have been needing to learn from day dot. And that's no means no. Now, where this links back to HS and where this gets really, really low and really sad and unbelievably pathetic, this is when HS crashed his car. General G was in the passenger seat.
HS has fucking walked off. Left his McLaren and walked off. Fucking hell. Hey, General, you good?
I feel something crap. Not only did he leave him there to suffer, he then mocked him 24 hours later. Everyone was wondering, why was the book thrown at HS? And it is quite simply his disgusting attitude and lack of remorse for the entire situation. That was a high-speed car crash. General G could have been paralyzed from the waist down. General G could have died, and HS left him. He fled the country and didn't own up to a single mistake. What HS showed there was exactly what he thinks of every single one of his fans. He does not give a single fuck about any of you. HS quite simply knows exactly what he's doing, and he is profiting from vulnerability. This is further proved in Louis Theroux's documentary on the Manosphere.
Have you got anything to say to the live, Theroux?
Not really.
Go on, say something, mate. Give me some content.
Not only does he try to justify all the misogynistic things that he has said, he also justifies how he spreads hate towards OnlyFans girls whilst also directly profiting from OnlyFans. We need to realize that the people that buy OnlyFans, a lot of them are vulnerable men. But HS does not care about any of that. HS just wants to profit from them. And when we talk about sex work, one conversation we all need to have that nobody is having is that there is one Bonnie Blue, but 1,000 men queued up. If those 1,000 men didn't queue up, we wouldn't have a Bonnie Blue in the first place. But nobody seems to want to talk about that. Yes, we can say all types of things about OnlyFans, but as men, we all need to sit and we need to realize that things like this wouldn't exist if the attitude had switched. If an attitude had switched and people didn't pay for this stuff, it would never exist in the first place. But the bottom line is, for every person that creates an OnlyFans and gets a following, that is one influencer with many followers, and I guarantee you they are all men, or 99% of them will be men. And that is something we need to talk about. People paying for this type of content. Now, HS is the person I really wanted to talk about in this video. He's the person that, to be honest with you, has been all over my For You page and all over my TikTok, and I've been forced to fucking watch this person since the first year of university for me. But I can't help but talk about this guy. He's called Myron Gaines.
Just so I know what I'm dealing with here, how many genders are there?
Multiple.
Myron Gaines is another alpha male who's actually, deep down, a fucking loser. He is probably best known for his podcast called Fresh and Fit, where generally he takes OnlyFans girls and sort of just the least educated women he can find, fits them all in one room on a podcast and debates them. And his points tend to come across a lot more calculated than HS's. His points tend to come with structure, and he walks out looking like the smartest person in the room by a country mile. The reality is, he is hitting the bullseye from 1 meter away. And his entire content is essentially built around people thinking that he is winning. So, looking at him, his fans think, oh, this alpha male, he's so smart. Oh, he shuts these OnlyFans girls down. Oh, he's the... Wow, look at this amazing... Look at our Lord and Savior. Oh my God, he's so strong. Look at the testosterone. He's got so much. Actually kind of exposed him for the loser that he is.
Are you in a relationship?
I have a couple girlfriends.
Are you in a relationship?
Yeah, a few girlfriends, yeah.
You actually get very sympathetic for his now ex-girlfriend. Well, do you want the one-sided monogamy or not? Did you not have a conversation with your... Well, I guess you didn't. Your now ex-girlfriend. Did you not have that conversation with her?
He's allowed to basically pursue other relationships, but you're not.
The women that he's with, he's just gonna be with them for like a night or so, whatever.
It clearly looks like a conversation you're now having in front of millions on Netflix for everyone to see. And what's even funnier is this alpha male doesn't put his foot down. No, he backtracks. What's wrong? If you've really got all these women that are queuing up for you and you don't care about any of that, why do you give a shit if she leaves? You should put your foot down, right? No, you don't, because deep down, that's your girl and you want to treat her like a human being. But you put that facade on that you don't treat women like human beings. No one's fucking falling for it anymore. If after that, if you can still look at this man and think he's an alpha male, there is something seriously wrong with you. So, his now ex-girlfriend, since the documentary, did leave him. And this feels like poetic justice at its finest. And the more now this woman is finally getting a voice, and I honestly think this woman has been suppressed to a point where she felt like she didn't have a voice, and now she finally has a voice. People are coming out, being sympathetic with her, and everyone is wondering, how did a nice girl like her end up with a fucking horrible little toad like that idiot? Now, we all know my channel doesn't get any views, but if somehow she did come across this, I hope you're happy. I hope you found someone who treats you better. And please remember, just when the cameras were on, none of us know what it was like when the cameras were off, but when the cameras were on, that type of treatment is not normal. And it is really disgusting to me that other men are probably seeing this and thinking it is normal. Women aren't asking for a lot. Women are just asking to be treated with respect, treated with dignity, and given the same opportunities that we have had for centuries. I don't think that's too much to ask.
And at least on some level as well, she understands that, like...
Now, when you listen to Fresh and Fit, and don't worry, I've got these clips, so you don't have to sit through this absolute garbage, you can see he doesn't really have conversations with his guests. It's more just like setups. You've got a host that's in control of the entire environment. There's guests who aren't always prepared for this kind of debate. And to be honest, some of these women aren't the most intelligent women you can find when talking about things like this. It always looks very one-sided. But I think that says a whole lot, not just about Myron, not just about the podcast, but about this entire space. There are many, many intelligent and educated women that would happily debate this man on this topic, but he will avoid them at all costs. Even when Louis Theroux was sat at the podcast and questioning things, that is something he does not want. Why? Because he will get shut down so quickly. I honestly would challenge this man to debate an educated woman on a lot of the things that he says, because it is damaging and it is outdated and it, in my opinion, has no place in society whatsoever. And Myron, of course, you're going to win these debates. It's very easy to win these debates, but it's not so easy to build a healthy relationship in real life. And that's something you quite clearly fail and lack the skill to do.
Yeah, so she stepped on my foot. She did it again.
Oh, what? Something I did want to touch about on the Manosphere is a rise of anti-Semitism.
If young men could get a girlfriend and buy a house, anti-Semitism would disappear.
And it's something I wanted to touch on because it's something I want to make very, very clear. A lot of things get mixed up about this topic online. These spaces have had a dramatic increase on anti-Semitism, and it's something that does actually need to get called out properly, because they are taking a real-world issue, something very, very, very serious, and they're turning it into hating a group of people. The Jewish people and the Israeli government are two separate things. Judaism and Zionism are two separate things. Ed Matthews, in this documentary, turned around and basically said that the Jews control the world. You cannot say that all Jews run the world. That's not true. Now, the word anti-Semitic gets thrown around a lot. Some people don't believe it, but I'll simply put it like this. That is Jewish hate. That is not standing up to the system. That is just hating on Jewish people. You can criticize Israel. You can criticize Benjamin Netanyahu. What is happening on the Gaza Strip, what is happening in the West Bank, and to Palestinian people is no short of disgusting. Louis Theroux also, funnily enough, made a documentary exposing this. Yet you have people like HS who want to turn around and say he's somehow puppeted by Israel.
We don't know, do we? Are Israel committing genocide? You're a puppet.
But saying anti-Semitic things is something that is very damaging and actually slows the process of calling out the Israeli government for the occupation of Palestine that has been going on for years. Once again, you have one side making political criticism, but on the other side, on the Manosphere, you are stirring up hate. This shuts down a real conversation that we all need to have, and we should have been having years ago. And that's the kind of theme with this space. Real issues getting turned into extreme tasks, because that's what gets clicks, that's what gets views, and that's what gets attention. And that's how they make money off of your vulnerability. I want to make something crystal clear. I condemn the Israeli government. I condemn America. I have many words to describe what I think is happening in Palestine, but I won't repeat them. So if you wanted to know my opinion, free Palestine. To the world and back, free Palestine. But I am not against Judaism. I am against Zionism. I'm against the idea that was brought up in the documentary of a greater Israel. I'm against Israeli settlers settling into Palestinian land. I'm against the treatment the IDF give to the average Palestinian. That being said, I am not willing to sit here and tell you that it is all Jewish people. Well, that's the end of this video. I actually didn't expect it to be as serious as it was, but I think we touched on some important topics here. But like I said, these people are not your friends. These people do not care about you or your life, and most of them are fucking losers. Take it from me, a student in an overdraft. Right, next video, we are definitely going to switch up the content. Maybe do something with my friends, because believe it or not, I have friends. Definitely try and make the video a little bit more funny, but this was a video I just kind of couldn't really resist talking about. So, yeah, that's the end of the video. How did I do? Let me know in the comments. Like if you liked the video. If you didn't, then I guess dislike it. Why are you still here? I'll see you next time. Love.